Thank you for joining us for the Barbados Today afternoon news for Tuesday, January 16. I am Mary-Claire Williams. Our top story this afternoon, Housing and Lands Minister Denis Kellman tells the National Union of Public Workers to put country above self. Kellman was responding to news of planned industrial action by the NUPW members after government failed to meet yesterday's deadline to conclude salary negotiations. He told Barbados Today that while the union needs to look out for its members, government has to consider the plight of the entire country.
Like them, we have to be realistic and we have to be appreciative of the economic situation. And if you go back to 2001, you will see that this economic crisis started a long time before 2008, 2009. There was actually a resolution in 2001 dealing with the economic crisis, which was brought to Parliament. If some of us want to pretend that we are not aware of what is happening in the country and in the world, I'm very sorry. But the truth is, I have always represented the interests of the country. But one of the things that people have to understand, that country comes before personality. And the biggest error that I'm seeing occurring is that everybody now is thinking self and not country. And that is why even when I judge the cost of an item, I do not judge the cost of that item or how much it's costing me in Barbados dollars. I judge it based on how much foreign exchange is used by the country to get that item to satisfy my wants.
The Immigration Department is now facing legal action as a result of its failure to move workers from the condemned headquarters on Wharf Road. The National Union of Public Workers has revealed that 35 officers have reported various illnesses as a result of the environmental conditions there, and they plan to sue government for their pain and suffering. The NUPW's General Secretary, Rosalind Smith, says the issue of relocating the officers has been dragging on since 2016 and has seriously impacted the workers' health. She says government must now be held accountable. On Friday, the government appealed to workers to hold strain on the promise to relocate them to the repurposed Barbados Tourism Investment Inc. car park building.
I'm not happy with the progress. The workers, I have a listing of 35 officers who are critically ill, and as I said before, I'm looking to bring a class action suit against the government. The more they linger, the more it will cost them. I'm meeting with the officers on Wednesday, and they're the ones who will decide whether they will stay and affect their health more, or they will come out of the building. So that might more or less tie into this current action.
Barbados and the rest of the Caribbean are being advised to take a cue from Cuba in implementing a comprehensive disaster management plan. The call from the Executive Director of the Regional Security System, Errington Sherland, in his recent address to the St. James Central District Emergency Organization's annual general meeting. The Category 5 hurricanes Irma and Maria left billions of dollars in damage in several Caribbean countries last September. But Captain Sherland noted that Cuba has implemented a comprehensive disaster management program which has helped the country weather a number of storms in recent years.
After several particularly deadly 20th century hurricanes, Cuba simply put in place a comprehensive all-hands-on-deck national program of disaster preparation, evacuation, relief, and recovery that involves every citizen in the country, from the very top to the very bottom. Rather than a side or a peripheral issue, disaster preparedness is not forgotten until the next disaster strikes. Hurricane preparation and recovery in Cuba are treated as the life and death matters that they are. And while some might argue that Cuba, or that the Cuban model, is only possible because it is a one-party state, there is little about its hurricane program that can rest on a notion of authoritarianism.
There's regional and international news after this short break.
Barbados Today, news you can trust.
Thank you for staying with us. We're back with news from the region. A near month-long protest at Grenada's state-owned National Water and Sewage Authority has ended. The head of NAWASA's negotiating team, Christopher Deali, confirmed today that the industrial action ended with a temporary non-disclosure agreement, and that restricts both the trade union and the statutory body from speaking on the reasons for the work resumption. Over in Jamaica, police in Manchester say they are working to increase protection for business owners who were the recent targets of extortion rackets. This led police to a major bust in the parish of Clarendon. The business owners are now concerned for their safety after the accused were released on bail. We get the details from TVJ News.
Head of the Manchester Police, Superintendent Wayne Cameron, addressing the latest municipal corporation meeting in the parish. TVJ News understands that he's met with the Mandeville business community before, and addressing councillors this week, he noted renewed concerns from business operators who had reported being targeted in what's suspected to be an extortion racket. 6 persons were arrested and charged last March after police recovered close to 80 letters sent to or destined for business persons, most of them in Manchester, but also St. Catherine as well. The letters were said to contain threats that the business persons, their families, and their employees would be harmed or killed and their businesses destroyed if they did not pay over extortion money on a weekly, fortnightly, or monthly basis. One of the accused pleaded guilty and was sentenced in April 2017. The court case is ongoing, but Superintendent Cameron says all but one of the other accused is out on bail, and that's creating more problems for the business people.
The one who is still behind bars is the one who was already incarcerated for other things, for other crimes. 6 witnesses have come forward to say that they have been contacted again by these individuals, intimidating them and threatening them.
He says he has reported the matter to the courts, but the police are also taking action.
We'll be making efforts to find out exactly who's making the calls, and just to use this medium to say that anyone who is interfering with a Crown witness is going to find himself behind bars.
And finally, a couple in California has been arrested after police found their 13 children allegedly held captive at their home. Some of them were shackled to their beds with chains and padlocks. 57-year-old David Allen Turpin and Louise Anna Turpin, 49, are being held on charges of torture and child endangerment. The couple's children are aged 2 to 29. Police were alerted by one of the victims, a 17-year-old girl. And that's news this afternoon. Remember, you can get more on our website, www.barbadostoday.bb. You can also subscribe to our e-paper, email updates, and like us on Facebook. We're on Izumi Media in bus terminals and on Screenplay at supermarkets and gas stations near you. You can also find us on Mix 96.9 FM. I am Marie Claire Williams. Good afternoon.